Hello, everyone. This is Stephanie and Tyson. How
Hi
are you,
guys.
Tyson?
Oh,
She decided to sit beside my
Secret.
desk today, so I thought I would just adjust the camera and let her be the star. There's a good chance that I'm going to get punched, though. She's punched me a few times today.
Oh my God, we're gonna witness this.
Oh, it's happened a few times. Let me just jump on and be here. Hello. We'll switch back and forward to her as the moment demands it. How are you, Steph?
I am pretty good. It's been busy as usual. So launched my Discord channel for our school dropouts, and we're having our holiday movie night next Saturday on Halloween. And our patrons, they voted for Mr. Vampire. Have you ever seen it? It's like Hopping Vampires. It's a very old, like Hong Kong film. Pretty funny.
What time are you
Um,
doing that? I might
yeah.
join you.
We're going to do that at so because our patrons that are at three different, well, they're like all over the place, like Europe and whatnot. So we actually have like three time slots that we're going to be screening.
The
So I
same
think the
movie.
first one, hmm?
The same movie three times.
Yeah, just because like some people are in like one of our patrons in the Netherlands, some other people are like in the UK, some are like California or whatnot. So I think the first one is at one wait
Dude,
12
this is a
p.m.
long answer.
and
What
then,
time can I watch it with you?
I mean you could choose 12 p.m., 5 p.m. or 10 p.m. I think.
Well, 5 p.m., we'll hopefully be finishing our live show. Nice little
Oh
segue.
yeah, I'm gonna be having it playing on different computers, so we'll be good.
Good. So, I'm
Yeah.
glad you're well. Hi, everyone at home. Today, we're going to be looking at your dance photos. Next week, being that it's coming up on Halloween, we're going to make the theme Halloween. It can be shots that you've taken for this year or ones that you've taken in the past. And we're going to do it similar time to this, but maybe an hour early, but on the Saturday. So you can head on over to mattgranger.com/live and see the details for that one. Cheers. Let us know where you are in the world and where you are, I was going to say where you are, but that's where you are in the world. And if you're having a little cheeky drink this evening. And I wanted to share with you guys, if you're not on the mailing list, you may not have seen this. Done, done, done. Spooky, scary witch, boob alert, but no
Ooh.
nipple alert. Leading up to Halloween, just a couple of weeks ago, I was down in Philly shooting with Steph, and we put together this Maleficent shoot. I've been practicing. That was right,
You
wasn't
did
it?
it right.
Yes. I
Yeah.
struggle with that word. But we put together this shoot and this one as well. It is for my Art Nude Portraiture website. So, warning, the link that's in the chat there, don't click through there if you're somewhere that you can't look at adult content or that you're not interested in that kind of thing. The website contains full artistic nudity, and so does this series. It's actually the first one Steph and I have put out together that is full nude rather than implied, and our first time doing body paint as well. And it was kind of a crazy day. Looking at the shots,
Yeah.
I'm surprised we got there in the end. Rewatching the video, it was actually pretty cool seeing how it came together, even though we were the ones that did it. So that whole thing we put together in just a few hours. Steph, Jonathan, and I did the body painting. Steph did her own makeup, and we DIY'd the costume, made use of a location in the place we were staying that was actually shot in a kitchen. And it actually wasn't that complicated. It was all using budget equipment, and we show you how. So check it out, guys. It's live. There's a link in the description. It's over half price off until just after Halloween, about election time. And we show you everything from how we plan out the shot, how we do how Steph did the makeup, how we do all of the body paint, and how we put together the entire thing. So please check it out. It was really fun, really challenging, and I think some pretty cool final shots that you really could replicate at home. That wasn't staged, that isn't photoshopped, that wasn't done in a studio or something, that was shot in a kitchen. So check it out. I think you guys are going to love it. But nipple warning, nudity warning, this is an adult content course in the sense.
But please check it out. We put a lot of work into it. It was exhausting. It's such a long
So
day.
I have to,
It feels like forever ago.
yeah, it does, huh? But I have to give Steph huge props. I was exhausted. I'm probably, I was the one kind of coordinating the shoot. But apart from all the other things that you think about that a model goes through on that day, it wasn't just that once we started painting Steph, she couldn't move much. Once we started painting from her waist down, she couldn't sit at all. And then she could barely move other than walking like she was wearing a diaper, because if the cleavage on the lower part of her backside rubbed against her leg, then the paint would rub off. If her thighs rubbed together, paint would rub off, underarms. So she was basically walking like this the whole time, just waddling around to try and dry and keep the paint pristine for the shoot. Yes, it was, I think, really worth it though. And also big props to Jonathan. He did a great job on the day with filming it all, using the A7S III to get some really beautiful slow motion footage. I think it came together.
Oh my God, the slow-mo is gorgeous.
Yes, so hot.
If anything, check it for the slow-mo.
Okay, so next week, theme is Halloween. Get your shots in. It doesn't need to have been a shot necessarily shot for Halloween. It doesn't need to include a beautiful body painted woman. It can be anything that vaguely fits within the genre of Halloween horror type stuff, and it doesn't need to have been shot this year. So get your shots in. Cheers everyone. Cheers Steph. Cheers Jonathan. Cheers Juan. Cheers Yobo. I think I saw her in the room.
Sponsor me.
Now, let us take a little look at our photos that we had entered. Now I'm working off a single, I didn't hear you then, Steph. I just saw on the replay you picked up a coffee and you said something, but I didn't hear what you said. What did you say?
Oh, I said Starbucks sponsor me.
I'm working off one screen now because one of them I've packed up. Let's just, hopefully I can navigate all of these windows here. So, this one from Adam Anderson, our first shot. So I'm guessing this is either you have an amazing backyard or this is probably your two daughters jumping and playing in the local park. I think there's a really easy way to adjust this. Well, there's two things going on. The background is brighter than the foreground. You could fix that in post if you couldn't do it by shooting at a different time of day. Then, if you got down a lot lower on the ground, it's going to make it look like they were jumping a lot higher than this. From that higher vantage point, it looks like they're both basically on the ground. And by getting down lower, you can also get less grass and get the top of the pagoda in the background, or gazebo, whatever it is. I think that would work better. What do you think, Steph?
I 100% agree.
100%.
As somebody who does a lot of jumping photos because of like martial arts and everything, it helps to have like from that lower angle perspective. Plus, I have no hops. So
What are hops?
anytime you guys see like photos of me
My
with,
beer has hops.
I have no airtime.
Oh,
So if you guys
Vietnamese
ever
women
see photos
can't
of me,
jump.
that's like,
Gotcha.
whoa. No, I don't know if it's a Vietnamese thing. I just think it's a me problem.
Okay. By the way, every person who entered this week, I think, followed the instructions. So if you entered a shot, your shots are in here. Thank you for following that. Alan Hale. Now, I'm not sure, but I think maybe I was about 10 foot to the side of you for this shot. Alan's been on one of my tours. I don't think he was on this particular tour with me, but I think we happened to be at the same remote festival in Bhutan together. Could be wrong, but I think so. It's quite cool. These can be quite challenging to capture. You've got the balance of tones really nice here. The fun thing, these guys spin so much, so then it's just a matter of choosing a shutter speed that either here has the small amount of blur, or has it pin sharp, or has lots of blur, which is something that Steph and I did in the recent What Shutter Speed Should You Use video. I think it's quite cool. When I looked at this first, I thought that was a palm tree behind him, and I was like, what is that like Hessian bag in the middle of the palm tree? But then realized it's a his hat and peacock feathers. What do you think, Steph?
This is just really cool. I see the guy to the far left, and I just feel like he must have spun really hard because the strap is like really on his face. It's like digging in there.
Uh,
So it kind of makes me feel kind of bad. But this is so cool. I like the motion that's captured. I don't know much about Bhutan, but I love the colors of this shot.
Lovely.
I think you did a really awesome
I
job.
think the red
Yeah.
personally is a little overcooked looking at it on my side, but I agree the colors do make it. Ian Knight asking, are these alphabetical? Yes, I normally try to do them alphabetically. Carl Holt. I think there's potential here, but I don't think we really get it on this shot. It's blown out in the hot spots. I think what you were going for here was kind of a silhouette vibe, but I don't know that you quite got it. It might work better as a black and white because the neon blues aren't really cutting it. I would just try and go for, if you're going for a silhouette, most likely go for a faster shutter speed so then you freeze the action and you get a crisp silhouette. And then maybe try it when they're in a more opened up pose rather than kind of doubled over their torso. It's hard to see where the arms are on a shot like that. We've done some silhouettes, Steph. What do you think of this?
I mean, it's like a good foundation. I mean, I think you're getting somewhere. This kind of takes me back to like my dance team days. I used to be part of a dance team, guys.
Come on, you
A
keep
terrible
dropping
dance.
little hints on that, but we never see it. Come on, just give us a little robot at the desk.
Yep, can't. That is like way hidden into the archives. Like I nope.
Lame.
But I feel like if you waited a little bit more, you could have possibly have gotten them in a better dance position because it looks like they have like a frilly skirt on. So you could have gotten a little bit more action in terms of like their dancing. Um, yeah,
All right.
there's potential there.
So I believe that was Steph promising to do the robot a little later. Or we'll get Timmy in to do some head spins.
I hope dance.
Now this one from Charles. You've been entering some killer shots lately. This is interesting. I feel like this was somewhere, so it says Old Delhi, but it feels to me like a high-end restaurant or something, and then some performers showing their moves at a dinner or something. What kind of caught my eye was the two poles in the foreground kind of look pole dancing poles, but they're mounted horizontally. But really nicely done, framing them up in the middle of the archways. I think the amount of blur works really nicely. I'd be tempted to bring it in to be like a portrait-oriented 4x5 just to eliminate some of the extra clutter on the sides that I feel doesn't really add a whole lot to the shot. So something maybe like that. I'm not sure if that makes it better, but I feel like it was a little bit too wide anyways. What do you think, Steph?
I mean, either crop it like how you did it, or just crop it in a little bit so that the endpoints is like the peak of the design cutouts on the left and the right, because it's kind of a little bit off.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I think the motion is awesome, and yeah, I like this one. I give it a pick.
Too late,
This
I
has
already
a lot of.
picked it. Ooh.
Oh,
I'll let you talk about the next one first then. And then you have
geez.
first dibs. Chris Dillinger. And the first thing that jumps out to me is
Okay.
on the bottom left, it looks like one woman is checking out the
Yeah.
other woman's moves.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, she's doing
Oh,
pretty
she
good.
knows how to shake it. Oh, yeah.
Pretty good.
So this looks like a
Yeah.
Renaissance fair or something?
It looks like it. I feel like I feel like when it comes to dance, it's always about like the timing of when you get the shot and the position of the dancers. I feel like because her fans are very flowy, you could have kind of took advantage of that to be part of the action. So I think at the end of the day, I feel like it's a lot of these shots are probably going to come down to this timing. just to really emphasize the dance.
So I don't know if you guys saw, I did a video recently with ballet dancer Brandon. He's incredible, and it's maybe the most disappointing thing that I've felt about how this community is going for the year, that it, I think, has the lowest views of any video I've put up this year, and I think it's one of the best. I don't know if it's because it's a guy in the thumbnail or it's ballet in the thumbnail, but when I've done female ballet dancers, they tend to do great. That's pretty much it. It comes down to figuring out your frame and then working on your timing to get things at the right extension. Here, I think this would also be benefited by better lighting. She's not fully backlit, but she is kind of back and side lit, so you've got little hot spots going through the place here that I don't think represented as well as they could have. Eric Nope. Oh, little burlesque here. So, the stage lighting again here are really challenging. I don't know if you've had to go through and soften the skin at all, but I feel like her position in frame is quite good. The only thing, if you have gone through and done some editing, I'd like to see her face slightly brightened up so that her stomach and leg aren't the brightest thing in the shot. Her face is a little bit lost. But for a burlesque shot, I think the atmosphere of, you know, her face is kind of funny. Her intentionally hiding her breasts is, you know, part of burlesque, and her positioning in frame is pretty great as well. Those underpants don't look particularly functional, though, I have to say. Steph?
Oh, they're probably like extremely uncomfortable. But
they almost look back
really
to front
like
or
shot.
something too.
I know. I really like this shot. I like the colors, and I love her expression, and like the movement of, I guess, the feathers that she has on her. Pick from me. I really like it. And oh, Eric's in the chat. This is my friend Steffi during a burlesque show. She just lost one of her tassel nipple cover pieces. Oh, so that is actually
Whoops.
like a real expression.
I noticed the
Okay.
other hand, her right hand, camera left. You can see the tassel there. That's quite funny.
Yeah, I was wondering why you couldn't see the other one, like even the little frills.
So that's quite funny. This one from Ian Knight. What are we looking at here? Is this a stage performance of like a Mormon family all getting married or something? I can't really tell. It kind of looks more like stunt work than dance to me, but I really like it, and the way that they're all framed out, they're almost all distraction free. The one guy on the left kind of has some feet in his face, but other than that, only thing, I don't know, I would either like to see it slightly more to the right or just fully centered rather than slightly off center. But it does make me want to know what this production was and, you know, what they were hovering over. Was it a stage or was it outdoors or what?
Yeah, I would assume it's like aerial performers. It'll be funny if it's like, oh yeah, hey, we're going to a wedding or something. And it's like, all right, let's cook these guys up, do your thing, opening dance. What the? That's really cool though. I do like the flow of like the dresses, and yeah, I mean, hey, the theme is dance, and I think that this is a type of dance, and it looks really awesome. I give this a pick.
Excellent. So looking at it, it seems that this was shot in breeze rather than them spinning, because if you look, all the dresses are pointing to camera left, so it's not that there's circular motion pushing them all in one direction. It looks windy, and being up on a thing like that in the wind would be kind of the last thing I'd want to do. Being up there at all, probably. Those wires look a little bit too thin for someone of my heft. Okay, Jerry Winterson. So, pluses. Beautiful smile on her face. Beautiful light overall on her and on the couple in general. Maybe slightly blown out on the white of the dress. I don't know if that's from your edit or just the challenging dynamic range situation. I think, however, too much headroom And given that this looks like the kind of dance that my wife and I had at the end of an exhausting wedding day, where we basically just hugged and shuffled around and tried not to fall asleep, we were so tired, I would have liked to wait until they had shuffled slightly more clockwise so we could see his happy, content smile as well. We're kind of losing that on him. But it's still a beautiful shot, and I think given what we have, you could improve it a little just by bringing it down and getting rid of some of that headroom. Steph?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much nailed it. I was gonna just say, just wait a little bit more for them to turn so you could see him. But I do love her like expression. So
So happy.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm so happy.
Oh, let's not get emotional. I promised myself I wouldn't cry. Jim Reagan. Reagan strikes a special chord, seeing that we're a week out from the US elections at the moment. So this is one, let's see, does this show me what your shutter speed was? No, no metadata has come through, unfortunately. Without knowing how fast your subject was spinning, it's really hard to know, but let's say a sixth or an eighth of a second. I think there's some definite potential here, but you have to still think about what zones of light you have in your shot, and that light beam coming underneath the curtain is much stronger and basically cutting off her shoulders, or his shoulders. I can barely even tell if it's a man or a woman. I assume it's a woman. So I think this has potential, but I would have put that hard light to your back and shot from the other perspective if you could find a black background or a darker background for your subject, so we get the movement of the subject without distractions like that. And play with your vantage point as well. Here seems like you're shooting down on them.
I mean, it's a cool shot in concept. I think definitely just from a lower angle, and I don't know, it just looks really cool because it's kind of like it's so blurry you can't see her.
Ooh.
I don't know. It's cool. I like it. Ooh.
Okay, John Sullivan. I don't know, but I think this may be a composite. Was this the same gentleman who entered the shot of the birds and the girl walking on the beach and the super composite-y shot from the other week? I think maybe it was. I think this is pretty cool though, with the butterfly wings or the bug wings, the butterflies in the background, the daisy or whatever it is skirt. I still think it's too far into graphic art and too composite-y to be called strictly a photograph anymore. But again, if like the last one, you shot all of the elements, then fair play. I think you did quite a cool job on it. I'm sure the ballet dancer loves it as well. What do you think, Steph?
Skirt is awesome. Like, just the concept of it. Like, who would have thought? It's such a cool idea. Yeah, photo elements. It's like kind of hard. Yeah, I don't know. It is interesting though.
Yes, okay. Let's see one more and then we'll jump out and take a look at your questions. So if you have any questions for me or Steph, please use the hashtag AskMatt or AskSteph. And if you have any cheeky questions for Juan or Yobo, ask them too and we'll put them on the spot. Now, Keith Zilstra, thank you for entering again, Keith, and keeping up the point theme on point. So, in this kind of a shot, I think, you know, if it were a dancer in a other outfit, I would probably say go a little lower because this looks like you're kind of around chest level and I think it would look better lower. But in this vantage point, given you would be seeing straight up under the dress, then I think this is probably the right vantage point to take. Maybe going further back with a longer lens, however, would replicate the body a little better. I do think you can do a little better on the crop though. I would like to see probably a little something like this, just a cheeky little bit. I think might make it a little stronger, but I love the tones of it. the hands. I think Steph will appreciate the hands aren't just flat and
Oh yeah.
neutral on her.
Dancers just have amazing hands.
And I love that the shoes are all
Yeah.
gritty and whatnot, which shows you how she suffers for her art. Next time we shoot, Steph, I have to get you in point shoes. What do you think?
Oh God, no, I can't.
Oh, come on,
There's no way.
Grandma.
Martial arts and dancers totally different. Dancers are on a whole nother level. Like I can't do that. That ow.
I'm gonna give that a pick.
Ow. Oh, I was going to give it a pick.
What? Too bad. Nicely done there, Keith. Now, let's jump out and take a look at some questiones. Now, oh, Tyson's still here in her little chair. Okay, she did give me one little bite whilst we were reviewing things as well. Questions. Now, I haven't actually checked my phone to see if I have questions coming in. Let's see. Ian asked a question which I've already answered in the chat. Have you had to deal with LED spotlights on stage? They do really weird things to the sensor. Yeah, it's really difficult, LED in particular, if you have it pointed directly at the sensor. Any stage light is super difficult to balance your exposure if it's directly hitting the sensor. But LEDs, yeah, they do create something extra unnatural and unpleasant in the shot. It's the challenge of event photography. Photorescent, and I think we need to oblige because he's been doing so much for the channel of late. Ask Steph, can we see you dancing? Please go now. We'll wait.
Oh my gosh, what?
Keep going. Like the...
I can Dougie
What's a Dougie?
and like Bernie.
Huh. Wow. There you go.
Shopping cart. I don't know. It's been a very long time, guys.
Can we see your majestic starfish?
Oh my god. Which, by the way, I'm surprised nobody has brought that up. Like, it is the best video ever for 2020. Like, come on, guys.
Hey, Macarena.
And all those people that say, like, they're gonna unsubscribe, they just don't understand. They don't appreciate
They don't
it.
understand that I'm glad that you've unsubscribed. Leave. If you can't take me doing something fun once in a while, I would rather you not be here. Bye-bye. But everyone else, I hope you watch it and enjoy it. I have a friend who every couple of months shares something that he really believes in, but he's controversial on Instagram, just to clear out the people who are overly sensitive or closed-minded or bigoted, as a little cleansing thing. I think it's really ballsy. I wasn't doing it for that reason, but seriously, I have to genuinely think if we put out things all year, free content, trying to make it fun, trying to make it informative, and if we do a couple of days of ads or a couple of days of funny stuff or a couple of things that you don't like, and that's enough for you to want your money back and that you're leaving, so be it, you know, where you can only do what you can do and you got to keep creating and going in the direction that you think is right. You can't keep everyone happy, and if people can't have a sense of humor, then sense of humor is a personal thing. I'm not going to argue with people about whether it was funny or not. I'll just wish you well and say goodbye. Ask Matt, are you losing hairs on the top of your head? You're becoming old and wise. I'm glad that you clarified on the top of my head, because I'd want to know where your spy cameras are otherwise. I don't know about old and wise. I think I've always been wise, but I am becoming older. But, you know, we don't want to become old, but it's better than the alternative. I think that may be the questions we have for now. If anyone else has specific dance requests for Steph, please send those in now. We'll jump back in and take a look at a few more pictures. I believe her popping and locking is particularly good, by the way. Don't you roll your eyes, Stephanie fam. Okay. Okay. Lorenzo, where is this? This looks like, I want to say, those textiles. Is it Peru or Colombia or Brazil? Hard to know. If you're in the room, Lorenzo, let us know. It's pretty fabulous, though. Looks like most of the people in the background are all women, but this is the one guy who got in the spirit. Good on you. Don't be afraid to get in there. The glasses really set the outfit off for me. At first I was thinking I would rather see more of the bottom part of the frame than the top. But now as I see it, I think I would just like to see more of the bottom and keep the top, because the background showing the city I think is actually quite interesting. It's nice for context for me as someone who's always, interested in where a shot was taken. But having said that, if you just wanted this to be like a shot to print, then I do think bringing it down, having that nice yellow building in the background, like to there, but then having more of whatever is, I was about to say dangling under his skirt, but I meant all of those colored strands and stuff, I think could be stronger.
Censor yourself, Matt. Jeez.
What do you think is that blue thing in his hand? It looks almost like a hairdryer.
It looks, yeah, I was gonna say it looks like a hairdryer. Maybe it's a speaker of some sort. I don't know, but I do like it crops like from the top more.
Crop it from the top. Crop it from the top. When a pumpkin, you wanna do crop it from the top.
Like, I think the main focus is on like the dancing and the costumes and everything. So I like that it's a focus on the one guy and he's just living it.
And I also love that the two people in the front, him and the woman to his right, camera right, both have such happy faces on. It makes me miss the last time I went to Peru. I went for a festival up in Puno at Lake Titicaca, and it was just 24/7 dance parties in the street. And this atmosphere, it makes me really miss it. It's the kind of scene that I wish I was there, the one taking this photo. So I'm giving that a pick, just because it makes me nostalgic. And it's colorful. And he has a blue hairdryer. Who can't like that? Matthew Nerberson. Now, I think this might be the gentleman who strong-armed us into making this week's theme dance. So, we're going to hold you to an unreasonably high standard. So what I will say, come on. What I will say about this, if nothing else, is kudos for choosing a vantage point that minimizes the amount of fuckery in the background, because shooting at the courtyard of the Louvre is hectic. One hot tip, if you want to get clear of that, go at about an hour before, just around the time they're cleaning. As soon as the cleaners go, you have about 20 minutes of time before security turns up, and you can shoot there then. Here, you've really minimized the mess in the background. You could bring it in slightly from the left to get rid of the lines. I guess you've left it there as context. Again, though, I do think here, it's a young woman. You don't want to be upskirting her, but I do think going slightly further down, in closer, wide lens, you can get a shot that's discreet, but would make it more dramatic and really draw out the length of her legs and everything. And you could possibly get in more of the sky as well, which would make it a more kind of expansive feeling to the image. What do you think, Stephanie?
I would like to have seen it cropped in from the left, just to kind of touch the tip of the structure.
So are we getting rid of those two people sitting on the side who've given up on going, or are we keeping them in to get the tip? Tip in or tip out?
Let me see. We could keep them in. They made the cut, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
And take them out. Maybe take them out. I don't know. Maybe take them out.
I feel like you're just messing with me now, but let me just cut the tip off. But Matthew, I know you have a huge collection of dance images. This is beautiful. Having said that, whilst I think lower would be good, then we would completely lose her face. Here, maybe getting some variations on the angle of her face would be good, but certainly a great place to shoot. I actually shot a couple of nudes in the courtyard of this place when there was no crowds around, and that was a fun challenge, and we got called security on. Next shot.
Oh, wow.
Moseyed. Dancing. What am I missing?
Is it like dancing light? I don't know. I'm trying to like look into. I'm being a creep. I'm looking into the windows to see if there's like.
Oh, I love that. Let's check it out. Is there anyone tangoing on the top floor? So I like to encourage shots to be, for themes to be interpreted broadly, and it doesn't need to be any particular theme. I do think though.
Dancing line?
Sure, I think that's a fairly broad interpretation though. Maybe if it were a top down and we saw the interplay of all the lines, that would give us more of a sense of dance, but in this vantage point, I don't.
People in the chat are saying it's called the Dance House in Prague.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Ah, the dancing building. Okay, so fair play.
Oh, okay, then that makes sense.
So what's the sculpture up the top? Is that something dance related? Okay, so live and learn. So that's the tie to the theme. So given that that's the name, I suppose it qualifies. Then we're just judging it on its merit. And I still think a slightly more top-down vantage point would do better if you're trying to get to the streaming headlights. But nice interpretation of the theme, and thank you for educating me, community. Let's look at two more and then come back to see Steph's popping and locking. Oh, speaking of tango, dun 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 da, 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 da. Have you seen Scent of a Woman, Steph? Hooah!
I have to maybe.
Oh, that's a no. You'd remember.
I was born in '92. It was.
You know, I've seen films
No,
from before I was born. You can still watch them. They don't check your ID.
Same here. I was just. Oh my god.
Wow. Okay. So, congrats on getting a front row seat for the performance. I bet this was a hell of an experience to see it, to experience the sound, that it was felt really authentic, and that it was a great highlight in your trip. I feel the same when I went to see dance in Spain. As an image though, it's too cluttered for my taste. I like that you got the name of everything up in the top left, nice and uncluttered, but the dancers are all overlapped and kind of blown out, and the performers in the background are kind of lost as well. For me, it's a great memory for you and whoever you were with to remind you of this fun night, but I don't think it's an evocative image that really draws me in. Steph, can you tango?
Oh no, definitely not. I mean, I get what Matt's saying. I feel like maybe if you were at a different angle, you could capture people playing in the back as well as the dancers. But there is definitely potential here, and it just she looks very bright. I would say just maybe have better control of that, but. Yeah.
So that's good feedback, Steph, and I'm not meaning to negate your thoughts, but that is the difficulty in a thing like this. Whilst it may not be a spotlight that tracked them, there would have been hard lights on the dancers, and the reality is she's wearing, looks like black satin, he's wearing a grey suit, the other guys are wearing grey suits, it's a black floor, she has beautiful white skin with white skin poking through fishnets. It's going to fuck up your exposure if she's under hard light. It's the same challenge with the wedding couple before that had dark skin tones and the white dress. It can be really challenging in flat light to not underexpose the dress or overexpose the skin or vice versa. It is a dynamic range test for your sensor. So that was our 2. We'll come back to that one. Funky Ron, I like it. Questions. Eric, would it be possible to have a discussion of a series of pictures by one person? So less can enter, but there are more in-depth discussion. So basically what you're saying there is a portfolio critique. And I actually, thank you for asking it. It's something that I've been thinking about doing, but I'm trying to find what's the right way to do it. And I think I'm going to have some time early next month. So let's say you heard it here first. I will do a call out for people to submit a series of X images. I'll determine all of the details later for you to send them in for me to do a review. So it may be either a website review or it could be, you know, just a series from a particular project, something like that, and do a series of standalone videos looking at images as a body of work. Because I actually think that's generally a more interesting thing than having just one flagship image. Other questions? Steph, do you have an RGB headphone?
Yes, I think it's Roomless headset, I think. I would have to like look it up, but I'm pretty sure it's RGB.
I see G at the moment, kind of GB at the moment. Cinderella, cool name. How much fun was it to play and switch places with Johanna and play Jules? I would love to see an outtakes of that shoot. Thanks. Okay, so first of all, we weren't switching roles. I was not doing a parody of Jo. She is not that character at all. She's much more fun than Jules was. I was just trying to be a pain in the ass, basically. And I have to say, one, it was so much fucking fun, I can't even tell you. And anyone who doesn't like it or felt uncomfortable with me being in a dress, on one hand, I kind of get it. On the other hand, I really don't care. Every time I rewatch it, and I can't say this for my other content, every time I rewatch it, I still laugh because we just had so much fun. My wife was there helping us film. Jo and I basically jotted out the points I wanted us to hit.
I wish I was there.
And Jo fucking killed it. She got in character. She had a bunch of Italian phrases. And like you saw her, I left in some edits where she broke down here and there. But she did so well. I was fucking with her for the whole afternoon, like interrupting her, messing with her. And she would like respond in character. I was seriously impressed. I hadn't seen her acting. I mean, I've seen her modeling and I know there's some overlap, but I was genuinely impressed with how she did, and it was so much fun. And yes, maybe there's room for an outtakes video. Let's see, the first one hasn't really set the world on fire, so it'll be if I can dedicate the time to re-edit it.
Yes.
Well then, how about I'll send you...
Thumbs up, guys.
I'll send you the 20 or 30 gig of footage and you can sort through it for me, Steph. Cool? Cool. Okay, cool.
Oh
Oh
my god.
Any others here? Glad that you guys...
Actually, honestly, from a model standpoint, to see a photographer willing to just like put themselves in that position, like I'd be like, oh my god, I so want to work with him. Like, he's fun.
I am fun. But fun fact, Jo and my wife chose the outfits and the wig and the accessories and all of that. I had no idea what it was. Often when we film, we might stage it as if it's all unplanned, but actually it is. In that one, I knew what we were going to be doing something, but I didn't know how many shoots there were. I didn't know how she was making me over. I didn't know what the outfits were. I just knew that I was going to be a massive pain in the ass model, and she was going to be a massive pain in the ass photographer from Italy. So it was really fun. I'm glad those of you who did like it, liked it. Oh, hi Tyson. Yeah, so Steph and I have done a model photographer role reversal. It just wasn't that ridiculous. And that was the day that she fell in love with and almost bought a Sony A9 because she loved the results of it so much.
Ah, it was beautiful. Shot with it and I was like, oh my god, I'm a photographer. Jeez.
All it takes is a good camera, and all it takes to be a model is a great pearl necklace and a badonkadonk, apparently. All right, let's jump in and take a look at a few more pictures and choose out some winners. So let's switch back and take a look at this funky shot here from Ron. Oh, get down with your funky self. So is that graffiti in the background, or are they somehow reflections of the outfit? What's going on there? Or is that more people getting changed or something back there? It's kind of hard to see. It's very groovy, baby. I think you could just either bring in the left a little or darken that white hotspot down ever so slightly to have that attention kept, so it's not stealing attention away from our dancer. I think it's cool. It's like a flash-lit grab shot, but you got a point that's in cool movement. Having the second hand that's overlapped the body open up like that helps us figure out what and where things are, because it's so technicolor. Having the skin tone of the hands, it kind of gives it a bit of shape and understanding of what's going on. Looks fun, man. But yeah, Steph?
My first thought was, dang, look at them abs though.
Sheesh, girl.
I like this shot. I know it's just like a grab shot with like just a flash, but like you caught her in motion. It looks really fun. I just want to know if there were other dancers, because it looks like other dancers were about to pop out. Actually, I think doing a series review would be really cool. Yeah, I like it. Good job, Ron.
Okay, next up, Thanos. So this looks like one of those, what's the Indian goddess with all the arms? Is it Ganesh? No, I think Ganesh may be the elephant one. You know, where Shiva, that has all of the different arms, I think maybe Shiva. So it looks like this was going to be that. To be honest, it looks well underexposed. I get that you want to keep the blacks black, but the rest of it is really underexposed. Could be that the color goes to shit. What is that blue in the foreground? But it looks like 2 or 3 shots underexposed. And whilst I kind of dig it, having just bits of the people in the background, to be honest, it's a little bit messy. If you had a fully central shot, I think it could work better. What do you think, Steph? How are your wing and belly dance moves at the moment?
Oh God, can't belly dance.
I have half of the skills required
like
for belly dancing. Or does double belly and no dance balance each other out?
I mean, no, I don't know. But conceptually, this shot is pretty cool, but I feel like you could have executed it a little bit better.
Fair. Aww.
Oh, wait, is this Lion King?
Quick, what's the song from that? A whole new world. A new... No? Steph's a big Disney person.
That's Aladdin. Oh, God.
Oh, Tyson's biting me.
Wait, have you seen The Lion King?
I have, a long time ago when I was age appropriate.
Yay.
Before I saw Scent of a Woman. I like the shot. I think it's sweet, but it doesn't really evoke dance. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Steph? Circle of life.
I feel like...
Oh, calm down, one.
That's what it's called. I feel like I've never seen the live like Broadway show, but I'm pretty sure that there's like more dancing involved that you guys could have captured. I like the people in the back that are just like, hey, we're nature. Like, have you seen those memes where it's like a kid is just, he's playing grass?
Yeah, I would be like a shrub or a boulder in the foreground.
Oh, God.
Do you think you get credits for that? Like shrub 4, bush 2, that kind of thing?
I don't know. But if I have a kid and they end up being like, hey, you're gonna tree, you better be the best damn tree there is.
every night, 2 hours of swaying practice. Oh man, I wish your children good luck. You're going to be a total tiger mum. Vitor Ampere. That's a pretty boss name, I got to say. I think you have the makings of a great shot here. The fence on the right is a distraction. The sun is beautiful. The translucent dress is beautiful. Her arm extension is great. Maybe getting a shot when she had a slight jump or was on her toes could create a little bit more length there, or getting a little bit lower down. I think there's definite potential here. I don't know that this is the best shot that I don't know what you got, but that you potentially got in the series, but there's definitely some potential here. So keep exploring it.
Yeah, I like the utilization of like the sunlight. The sky looks beautiful. I mean, if you could pick a different angle that didn't have the stuff on the right, but this one has like you're almost there for me. So I give it a pick because so cool.
Nice. And this is actually our lucky last, and this is Wim Welms with this beautiful woman throwing gang signs. What?
What if she did like the Star Wars?
What is that, like V for Vendetta or something like that? It's actually a little tricky to do. I wonder what that is.
It's the Star Trek one before I like trigger people.
So, there's a lot I like about it. The intensity, the contrast between her and the background, the fact that the background's so dark means that we're not so affected by the bright hot spots on her from the sun. I would like
the hand behind her, though,
yeah,
is just distracting.
I was going to say the hand behind her and then her hand being cropped off. Without those, I think it would be quite a strong shot, and it's almost got that Evita addressing the people at the balcony type vibe to it. Yeah, so see if you got another one without those distractions. I know it can be difficult when you're at a fixed location. Trust me, I've shot a lot of this stuff and you leave with 500 shots and there's one great one and 5 that were close. Even with Steph, when I was going through the Maleficent shots, there was so many that were close, but I just missed this or I just missed that, or this is one that I would love to share publicly, but it just shows too much, or whatever, or everything worked, but I don't like the position of the bokeh balls in the background, but I don't want to misleadingly Photoshop them. I get it, but if you have one without those distractions, I think that could be a winner. Okay, so let's jump back and take a look at some cheeky questions before we choose our cheeky winners. Do we have some questions coming in? Steph wants something, dance, something, Steph, please, go.
Oh, I was going to try to focus on which one I was going to pick. How many are we picking?
One each.
Oh,
well, if you can't stick to that, 2 is fine. Oh man, New York is so pretty right now.
Okay.
Oh, the light on the buildings.
Jersey is a little gloomy over here, so.
I don't see any more questions. So if you guys have questions, hit us up. Otherwise, let me just give you all a cheeky little reminder that right now our Maleficent themed body paint shoot is live. Just went live this morning. I'll be putting it live on YouTube tomorrow, I think. But you can check it out. It's over 50% off at the moment, and we take you through the entire shoot. So me explaining the concept that I had in my head but hadn't really shared with the team yet, how we find the different objects that we need, how we bring that atmosphere in, how we brought the color in. Everything you're seeing there, except for the X over her nipple, we did in camera without any kind of Photoshop. No trickery. It's all in shot and done with really cheap accessories and equipment, shot in an afternoon. And then here we've covered nipples and privates for YouTube, but at the website it is fully nude, so please be aware of that and don't open it if you're around someone who could be offended. the website name, Art Nude Portraiture, should tell you everything you need to know. So please don't get offended by that. So, do you have a winner here, Stephanie Farm?
Keith?
Which one was that?
The ballet dancer,
Yep.
pointing to the sky with the nice fingers.
Okay, very cool. Just the one?
Yeah. Yes, I was just gonna pick
So
one.
I think I'm
Sorry,
going to go
guys.
with Keith and Eric and Charles then. So this one of the dancers in the doorway, this one of the burlesque dancer who lost her cover, and then this one Steph chose of the ballet dancer. So very cool, guys. Congratulations. Well done. Cool
Yay.
shots. Now, can I bring my cat back to show you guys that she's hiding now? I can't do it. Oh. Everyone always wants to see her, and now she's finally right here, but just out of frame. What have you got on for the weekend, Steph? And don't just say just work.
All I do is work. I enjoy my work. Leave me alone.
Stop picking
actually,
up
I'm
me.
probably going to watch. So I was recommended a
Son of a
Netflix show
Woman?
from
Son of
one
a
of
Woman.
like.
Was it Son of a Woman?
No.
You
No.
should watch Son of a
Is
Woman.
it on Netflix?
Probably. This is 2020. You can't find movies? Come on, bro.
I'm just saying. So one of our patrons, he recommended "It's Okay to Not Be Okay," and I'm on episode 4.
Okay, what's it
So
about?
I'm probably gonna watch a few episodes of that. I mean, it's a Korean drama, but it's like I don't know how to explain it. It's just very deep and very interesting and thought provoking, and it really like addresses mental illnesses
Okay.
and yeah, it's interesting. It's different from a lot of like Korean dramas I've seen. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say, Korean dramas generally are so much more diverse and go deep and on more niche, less mainstream topics than most other national dramas that I've seen. So I will check that one out as well. Most of the great dramas I've seen
my
in the
God,
previous
it's
year
beautiful.
are great. I don't know if I told you or the audience that, but my thesis back in university was on the Korean film industry. I'm a huge Korean film and TV fan, so I
Oh.
will check it out.
Oh my gosh, you should watch it.
Alright.
The budget per episode was like 2.3 million or something.
Was that all
per
for one like
episode.
starlet's, dry cleaning bill or something, or it's in the production costs?
Watch. When you watch like the first episode, you're gonna be like, okay, I get it. Like why it's expensive. It's honestly very beautiful, and the lead actress, like her clothes are amazing, one, but the acting in the show so far is just like really spot on.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, one is
So
saying,
good.
are you talking about Kim's Convenience? Because their outfits were pretty dope. I
Oh,
don't
it's
know.
a good show too.
I don't know that that's actually funded by the Korean Film Commission, but it is about a Korean family, although
I think it's
only one of the
Canada,
actors
isn't
in it is of Korean descent, which is kind of funny, but that's a very funny show.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a Canadian film production.
Keith Z, have you had a chance to do a portrait shoot with the EOS R5 and the RF 85mm? How does the new 85mm lens compared to the Sony? That's a tough one. On all of those lenses, you have to trade off for yourself the image quality, the handling, and the cost. Now, the Canon lenses are beautiful. They are fucking enormous and really expensive, however. The Sony is less so. The old Canon DSLR lenses were similarly huge. I would say the Sony 85mm is one of their best lenses, that and the 135. The Canon maybe has an edge. It is beautiful, it performs beautifully, but it is that much bigger and more expensive again. So there's no question that the Canon lenses that they've been producing for their R range are top notch. So I wouldn't hesitate if you can afford it and the size and weight don't bother you. I think that might be it. We were talking off camera. Steph, have you decided what I should have for dinner?
I mean, New York pizza sounds pretty good.
Sold. All right, pizza it is.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool. Cowabunga, bro. And
I kind of want pizza.
I was going to say a Philly cheesesteak, but you're in Jersey, so I guess you should have cherries? I don't know. What is Jersey famous for?
Oh, actually, speaking of Jersey, it's funny because was watching the news the other day, which I rarely watch the news. But they announced that the #1 hated state in the U.S. is Jersey.
Really? I would have thought, yeah, Jersey. Or Florida.
Yeah, it's Jersey.
But I can see why Middle America would hate California and New York as well. Or Washington, D.C. Is that considered a state? Is D.C. a state? Okay. Wasn't sure. In Australia, we have states and territories, and the central government one is considered a territory. I wasn't sure here. So, Photorescent and Cinderella are suggesting that I have sushi. I'm glad that this has now become a conversation about my dinner. I welcomed it. Unfortunately, my favorite great quality, good value sushi, as well as being in Manhattan, which takes me an hour round trip to go get, stupidly are closed on the weekends. So the earliest I can get that is Monday lunch. And nearby there's no good sushi that can deliver, unfortunately. So it's a tough life. Thank you for your sympathy. I sincerely appreciate it. I might just sit here and watch really expensive Korean drama with my beautiful kitties and eat a slice of New York pizza instead. Wicked Witch. Like your name, Wicked Witch. You should check out the shot we did with Steph. The next video for the live show is next Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, so starting an hour before this one. But I will have some content released before that, most likely tomorrow and middle of the week. I've got a lens video coming out. So, take care, guys. Thank you, Steph. Thank you, Juan. You're the best.
Yeah, no problem.
Really great to see you this week as well, Juan. And Yobo, thanks for joining in. Thanks to everyone else who chimed in. 101 blog, you are as confusing as always. So thank you for all your weird messages. And we will catch you guys later. Have a great weekend.
Bye, guys.
Bye.